Hello everyone, my name is Theodore and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how I create my realistic pieces in colored pencil. I'm going to be explaining my materials I use and what you can use yourself as a beginner. So grab your pencils and paper and let's get started on this video. The most important part of an art piece is the medium, because you can't make art without having something to work with. So I'm gonna show you first the materials and what we have to work with. So of course we're using colored pencil for this, so I'm gonna show you the 3 brands that I'm using for all my colored pencil pieces. I'm gonna show you some brands that you might want to choose for a beginner. Now the first one that I use is a very famous color pencil. There are Faber-Castell Polychromos, and these are really good for realism, like what I do, since their cores don't break and they can do really fine details. But the only problem with this is they are pretty hard to blend. So this 60 pack is about $110, somewhere around there. You can get it off Amazon, Blick Art Materials. And I have the 60 set here, so not the biggest. The biggest is 120. The second one are Caran d'Ache Luminance color pencils. Now, I don't have a set, but I did buy some open stock, which basically means that you can buy individual pencils at a store or online. And these are way softer. Now, these color pencils are possibly like one of the most expensive, and I don't know, a lot of people say it's their best, but I just enjoy the Polychromos even more since these blend really smoothly and they hold their point. I think most people would find that these are easier and better to work with. Okay, so now, and the third set has recently, it's been out of stock for a while, but when I went to the art store last month, these are back in stock. So these are the Derwent drawing color pencils. Now these are very soft. They're even softer than the Caran d'Aches, but these are very earthy tones. Now, it's not like a regular color palette. As you can see here, they're very muted tones. Now, I'm going to focus this on the colors there. As you can see, it's not like your normal colors. They're very muted. Now, these might not be for beginners, so I would definitely not recommend these since these are really hard to figure out. These are really nice, and a beginner probably could use these, but these are extremely expensive. They're about $5 if you buy them open stock. This one, maybe I could. I guess I could, since these are the cheapest out of these all, but the color palette is a little bit unique. You might not need these, but the thing about those is I would definitely recommend the white and the black inside of the Derwent drawing sets. Now these are even darker than the Polychromos black and brighter than the Luminance white. Now I do not have the Luminance whites, but I've seen a lot of reviews on them. And get the Polychromos white, black. Don't get the white on Polychromos, but if you're a beginner. But you definitely get the black in here because it can hold its points. Unlike the Derwent drawing, it just breaks really easily. So this is a very common color pencil that you can find anywhere. Amazon, they're like everywhere on Amazon. You can get these really cheap. I got the 72 pack at Blick Art Supplies, and these are the Prismacolor Premier color pencils. Now I'm 13 years old, so I haven't really experienced the old kind, but I've heard that the old Prismacolors have been way better quality controlled, and now they have, the quality control isn't very good now, but I've used these for quite a bit of my drawing, so every single one of my realistic objects have been using the Prismacolor, and I really liked them when I first tried them, but I went back to the Polychromos and I enjoyed those more when I went back to them. But these break really often and are not 100% light fast, which is really the problem if you're gonna do commissions like me. But if you're beginning out and you're not selling your work, definitely check out the Prismacolor as your first color pencils because they blend really easily. So I'm gonna show you a few paper options that I would recommend and what I use and stuff like that. Okay, so for paper, I have used 5 different types of paper throughout my art making. So The first type is, let's say, printer paper. So I have a photo. This is my, I don't really have printer paper near me, but this is regular printer paper. You might use this already for all of your drawings. Do not use printer paper. It is worth investing in good quality paper. Let's start with the first one that I used to use. Not really now. I have this tone blue mixed media paper because you can use tone paper, and I needed basically tone paper because I've heard it's really good. So at first I went out and bought this tone gray sketchbook. Now I haven't drawn much in here, but here's a bell. It actually works really well. So here we have a mosquito, and I haven't done much in this one. So I've used this for a while. This might actually be good for beginners, but the one problem with it is it's way too smooth and it's thin, and I didn't really enjoy, for a while I actually did enjoy drawing in these, but not so much anymore. So when I wanted thicker paper, or like for my bigger pieces, I went with this tone blue paper. It looks gray, it's not really blue. And yeah, you can get I can't really find this, but I got it at the Blick website, dickblick.com, and I got this there. But the other problem is it doesn't have much tooth or grit bumps on the paper. So I would recommend that for beginners actually. So the second option is some cheap watercolor paper. Now, I'm not sure how well this works for color pencil. I just used it because it was thick and white. And it has a little bit more grit to it, but I don't think I would recommend it because it doesn't work that well. Okay, so these are getting into the better stuff that I personally use. So actually, let me get the pad because it's a pretty big piece. So lately I've been trying out more papers, and that flower drawing that I put it somewhere up, but I used Bristol board. This is relatively thick. You want some thick paper, but it has no texture to it, so I would recommend it for Prismacolors, but would not recommend it for polychromos, which is actually what I used in that drawing, and it went out okay. Actually, you can use it, but I would want higher grit, or not, I think I'm saying this, higher texture for higher textured paper for like the polychromos, and maybe the Canon Dash 2, but maybe you want smoother. Now this was actually, I got this for watercolor. This is really expensive Arches or pressed watercolor paper, and this is the most textured you will ever see. I'm not sure, it's like the camera will not pick it up, but it feels like sandpaper. There's a ton of texture on that. It was like, if you look at a piece of watercolor, like you search it online, you'll see all the bumps and stuff. That's what it feels like. And this is what I used to draw that drawing up there. Let me try to zoom it, focus the lens into the back up there. But that is what I was using for that piece, and I actually really enjoyed it, but I have a feeling that no one else will enjoy using this paper on polychromos since it takes so long to blend and it'll leave a whole bunch of white marks, but I personally like that. I don't think you'll do though. And then the final piece of paper is, I don't have a pad, but I bought a whole bunch of giant sheets to cut them out, and I'll put them up. It's Fabriano Artistico 100% white, 100%, no, just extra white, 100% cotton paper in the sheets, and it's not, I think it's 160 GSM or something, and it's really good. It's my favorite now. I recommend the Artistico for more people like who have been doing it for some time now, and maybe the Bristol and Tone Blue for beginners. So that is my paper preferences. Now on to some smaller stuff, like white highlights. So you see a lot of these white highlights in people's realistic drawings, and they usually use some things like gel pens or acrylic markers. Now these are work actually pretty well on top of them, but you can use this as a beginner actually. I'll recommend the pause skip in. But if you are selling your work, or if you just like yours being like the same for a long time, you do not want to use these. Like I would throw these away, but I don't know, they're just nice. So what I would use is this brush and pencil colored pencil touch-up titanium mixture. So this is from Brush and Pencil. You can get this at you need to get the touch-up texture makeup bottle thing. I don't know why it looks like a makeup. What is it, kind of like nail polish? I don't know. And this powder, the titanium. Let me focus. It's Brush and Pencil titanium white powder. And this. If you mix these together, they'll become up like an acrylic paint, and it's supposed to be for highlights, mainly for colored pencil. So these work pretty well. I've been using them lately, and I would recommend this for people who are doing commissions. It's like $10 a bottle for this, so it's pretty pricey too, but it's definitely worth it if you're doing commissions. That's the only solution to, or only that I found. So that's what I use for highlights. Get a couple of these on Amazon. Now this is a pencil extender holder, so if all your pencils are really short, put in one of these and you can use them for about a few hours more, and then you can toss them more after that. It's getting late out here, so I better hurry up now and end the video soon. But we have some sharpeners here. So we have the Dale sharpener, D-A-H-L-E. Now this is pretty good, but it'll really mark up your sharpeners if you use a tooth, unlike soft pencils like Prismacolor. But if you want to solve that and want to go on a budget, because this costs $30, you want to go for the iPoint Orbit. I got this at Walgreens for about $5. It's really cheap. I think it's meant for students, but you can use it anyway. And for some handheld, I use the M&R Morbius brass sharpeners. Morbius and Rupert. It's pretty good. It's about $5. And I use the replacement blades since you can save a lot of money doing this. This 15 pack is about $10. For my pencils, I use this Koh-if-Noor. I think I'm botching that name, but it's a mechanical pencil that uses these giant 2mm leads. And here is a Staedtler Mars Carbon pack that you can get. And that is basically all the materials I have. So I went pretty quickly through all of these because my camera's about to die. But I just want to thank you all guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video, which are coming out soon. Bye, guys.